show! You donkey! You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship! Don't do this to me, Harry! The Ohio State, it's Ohio State! What do you mean, the? 312-988-15.
Hello?
You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. Yeah, that's right. Welcome in, welcome back. What is that? What is that? You're a donkey in the intro. It's a Gordon Ramsay. Remember the chef Gordon Ramsay who would yell at everyone back when it was okay, apparently, to treat your employees like crap? Remember when he used to have that show and he was yelling at everybody? And when somebody would, like, some girl would mess up like the mashed potatoes, he'd be like, "You donkey." And he did it with that accent and it just sounded cool. I think I might have been watching what is it called? Hell's Kitchen or whatever, when he had that show. Yeah, what he put those two pieces of bread between that girl's head and said, "What are you?" And she said, "An idiot sandwich." Yeah, Hell's Kitchen, man. Back when it was like encouraged apparently for you to be mean to people, I'd be like, "Dude, you're calling me a donkey. I'm making minimum wage over here. Like, you know, in the back room, I'll just go somewhere else." So that's what it's from. It's to Gordon Ramsay. And that's why I had the accent. That's why I had the accent. Yes, the tailgate is going to be in the North Lot. I have secured a couple passes at least. You guys, this is aggravating. We'll just go ahead and get it out of the way now. Phone calls, dial it up. We'll bring you up. By the way, we're in a weird, it's a little weird. Tell me if I'm wrong, you guys. We went from all the buildup to camp starting. Then camp started and you had all the reactions and the overreactions from that first little burst of camp, the first few days. Don't you feel like things have kind of like simmered down a little bit? And I think everybody's looking for, you're looking for the next thing. And it just feels like everything is kind of slowed down a little bit. And I think that's driving people nuts. You're waiting for more information and it just kind of has slowed down. Some of the hot takes have slowed down. And you're trying to see what's coming next. This is just, it's just a little weird right now. You have these uncertainties and then you want like more and more information. And I feel like things have cooled off the last few days. You're just in a weird spot. And you got questions and you want answers and you're just and you're not sure what you're getting. It's just kind of weird, man. We're in a weird spot right now. Oh, what I was going to say about the tailgate. We already got a good group of callers. We'll bring you guys up. Here's the deal. Blue and gold. Parking's free. That's awesome because there's no stress. You just pull in wherever. I always pick the lowest level home game for the tailgate for a couple different reasons. Number one is I am able to kind of relax and have a good time playing Central Michigan or something that I wouldn't be for A&M or Miami or USC, something like where Ohio State, where I'm all worked up. If you were with me for the Indiana tailgate, you would see I'm not a lot of fun before a big game. And so like my whole personality and the whole Johnny talk to everybody, be goofy. I don't have that. Before a big, like a huge game like that. So I pick a lower level game so I could relax a little bit. Okay. And the other reason is it's usually really, really affordable. The first two games that I've done this for, the tickets I got were $66 in the top row. And I would get a whole bunch of them and have my crew up there and they're $66 or whatever. I think it was Miami, Ohio, Central Michigan, something like that. All right. So that's what I go for. And then you're able to have people have their families. You're not afraid to have a couple little kids and they're $66 and they could go to the game and you could whatever. Purdue was the lowest level game on the front half of the schedule at home by far. And I thought that's a good idea. Bro, they're charging premium prices, dog. I don't know if it's Ohio State or Purdue coming in here, but it's $225 a ticket in my upper row. That's like 4 of the other tickets combined over the last couple years to watch Purdue. Are you outside your brain? Purdue? And I know it's like, oh, get over it. Like, cheapskate. And this is what happens when you're good. You got to pay premium prices, bro. I was just not expecting that. $225 a ticket to see Purdue. John, they're an old rival right down the road, and they're a Big Ten team. Psych your mind, bro. I do not care about Purdue. Unbelievable. I don't know anything about Miami parking. Not my problem. I'm worried about getting enough spots put together in the North lot without selling the house. And filling in the pool. I mean, come on. Unbelievable. So anyway, consider it the price for fame. Yeah. So anyways, I was completely blindsided, quite frankly, by the pricing of the Purdue game. And I really did think, I know they're a Big Ten team, but it's Purdue. It's the lowest level game you have at home. Anyway, so I got a couple tickets in the North lot. Somebody asked, is that general parking? It's the opposite of general parking. You better open up that wallet, son. You want to get in that lot. Unbelievable. So you want to talk about how much it is? I'm paying more to park 2 cars than I am to go see the game. It's a lot. It's a lot. So here's what I tell people to do. You could park in the white lot for what is the white lot now? That's probably $50 and it's in the middle of a field off the highway. You can't see nothing. That's probably $50 now. You could park at the white lot right off the highway, hop on the free shuttle, and it drops you off right at Touchdown Jesus. You walk 2 minutes, you're at my tailgate. So you could park wherever you want in these different areas and then take the shuttle or whatever, a walk over, and be able to get there. So there's ways to get there. Yeah, it's $50 now, even in the white lot. And you can take the free shuttle and it literally, if you have things to carry, you want to bring a case of beer or whatever, you just hop on that and then ride over. It drops you off right in front of Touchdown Jesus. You literally walk a direct line from that drop off sideways almost. You're going to be there. So, and the other thing is I always will post a picture. I'll post a picture of the exact map so that people have an idea. If you've been to any of these tailgates before, then you know kind of our general area. And I like to try and keep it there because now people kind of know where we're at. And the other thing I've done, I did this for Indiana. If you get there early enough, all of those side streets by Eddy Street are free road parking. We got there at noon for Indiana, and I parked off Twickenham and them side streets and walked through campus to the North lot. Totally free. You just got to get there early enough. You could park on those side streets, and it's pretty easy getting out too. So I don't know. Phil's saying be quiet. And Adam Dowling's giving me crap because the North lot was his secret lot a few years ago. It was super easy, not busy at all, not huge demand. He tells me that's a good idea. 3 years later, you got to spend $800 to park a car or two. Unbelievable. So Adam's mad at me. Phil, now I'm giving away the Twickenham free parking. It's right by the stadium lot. You can't beat it for free. You just got to kind of get there early. And whatever. You don't know about the North lot. That was the idea because no line in the porta potty. You're 5 minutes from everything you need to be to. I don't know. So anyways, who owns those lots? Notre Dame owns those lots. It's the North Notre Dame lot. I don't know. They own it. It used to be called the library lot, I think Adam said. So anyways, That's kind of the deal, you guys. So people that can make it, make it. If you can't make it and the money holds you back, I'm sorry about that. This was the lowest level game. It just is what it is. Here's the other thing. And I know some people have talked about this in my group. There may be some people who make it a trip for that day, go to the tailgate, and then just go watch the game at a bar on Eddy Street. And it's like, I don't need to pay $1,000 for my family to see Purdue, but we want to hang out with Johnny Boy, drink, crack some lids, and have fun. Go to the tailgate and then go to Brothers or something, that huge bar on the corner, and go watch the game there. I know a bunch of people in our group that are going to do that. They just want to tailgate. And then they'll walk over and go watch the game somewhere else. So, and listen, I understand if you're a person who's like, if I'm making a trip to Notre Dame, I got to go to the game and go to the stadium. I'm not in that spot. I've seen hundreds of games there. It's not the top of my priority. I got to see them beat Purdue. So whatever tickets I end up with, I'm probably going to give them to somebody just so they can bring their kid or whatever. Like, it's not my bigger priorities having a good tailgate and meeting all you guys. Like, I do not need to spend $1,000 for 4 people to go see Purdue. I don't need to do it. I don't feel that impetus that I need to. Angela, we'll be there for the tailgate and then at home, no traffic. You know what, Angela? I've done that before. Yeah, love you, Johnny, but I got to see the game if I'm flying in. I totally get that. But I do know there is a group of people in my group talking about tailgating and then just going to a bar. So if you've seen hundreds of games and you go to a lot of them, it's less of a priority to break the bank to see Purdue, maybe. I don't know. So a lot of people are talking about that. And then here's one other thing I'm going to tease. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here, but I'm going to tease this. There may be the possibility I do something big for USC. And I am still working through the logistics, but I mean like big on a different scale. There's a possibility that we maybe have an Always Irish gathering for USC in South Bend. And I am working through the details, but I wanted people to know that may be a possibility. So if there's an opportunity and you're like, I don't know if I can make it to Purdue and I don't want to pay the prices for Purdue, but if USC's an option, Johnny Boy I maybe have something in the works. I may be having something in the works for USC. So everybody wait and see on that. I'll give you some updates, but it would be something on a bigger scale than what we're used to. Tex, I didn't know about it when all this started. And then opportunities find Johnny Boy. People approach John and want to talk about some stuff. So that may be an option as well. So keep that in mind. If you're like, I don't know about Purdue, there could be another option for something. It would be on a bigger scale. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. CNET, Purdue will be my first legit game at ND. We better be 2-0, damn it, and looking for a win. Yeah, that's the other thing. I was thinking, do you stress out and buy these parking tickets now at the premium price or whatever? Or do you do the risk where you wait and see how it goes early? And that's a double-edged sword. If you're like 0-2, you lose to Miami and A&M, maybe you could get parking tickets for $5. I don't know. And if we do good in those games, maybe it'll be $5,000. So I just, for my own sanity, I went ahead and got the tickets I need and paid secondary market value. And then I'm just going to write it off at the end of the year as a business expense and just eat it. But it is USC, charge whatever you want. Might be the last game in South Bend. Charge whatever you want. I get it. Texas A&M, what a rare thing. They're coming here. Big match. Go ahead. Charge whatever you want. Purdue, though. And I know all they did is go, oh, Big Ten team, you get to charge $8,000 a ticket, Big Ten team. It's still Purdue. It's still Purdue. I don't care what conference it is. It's still just Purdue. Okay? Son of a buck on the pricing on this. Purdue, $225. See Purdue. You outside your mind? Anyways, I just can't imagine one person who's like, what a value. $225 in the top row for Purdue. What a steal. Anyways, That's where I'm at on all this. So on that note, welcome into the longest running, the largest, and the weirdest call-in show on the internet. I'm fairly certain about that. You know what I think I'm going to do? I got the solution. Maybe I just need to hide inside Purdue's oversized, stupid, arrogant drum. I'll slip the skin thing off the drum. I'll get in the middle, put it back up, and they'll wheel me right in the stadium. And then I can pop out and go run to the sideline. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. So, like, I don't know, man, whatever. But I am a little frustrated because I like the families coming to the tailgate. I like it when it's the mom and the dad and a couple kids. It doesn't break the bank. It's very casual. Like, I like that. And you're not getting that this year. And I feel bad about it. I feel bad about it, but there's nothing I could do. It's the best game you could do. But like, I think about Rudy bringing a couple younger kids. You're not going to spend $1,000 doing that with two little kids. Like, I get it. So I just feel bad, but it's the best we could do. And then we may have big news on the USC front, but I don't know until these opportunities come to me. And now I'm figuring out the logistics and the details. So stay tuned. I'll check my email. The season gets going. I'm way behind, dude. Everybody's emailing me everything and a lot of questions and a lot of opinions. I got to sort through the email. So I'm a little behind on that. Let me take a look-see here. We got a few calls, not too bad. So let's get into this and get going. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Get a video thumbs up. That helps Yanni Boy out as well. Notifications on that way you don't miss nothing. Twitter, search bar, always Irish, rat, always Irish. Emails, always Irish, ND@gmail.com. Audio only, anywhere you want it, you can get it if you don't want to see my stupid face. God bless you. I don't blame you for that. The call-in lines. 312-988-15. Dialed up. Tell Uncle Johnny Boy, oh, you've heard insane. Why'd I do that accent? Nobody knows. ND on SI. Read all about it. Articles for you every day of your life. Patreon.com/always Irish. The Four Horsemen, baby. Led by the two Notre Damers, Mike Goolsby, Jared Clark, myself, ND Recruiting 01. Man, that guy's up on all the recruiting stuff. I asked the guy a name. Have you heard about this high school kid Notre Dame offered that's still 2 years out? Bam! I get a big scouting report sent back to me on the community boards over there, man. It's a beautiful thing. Thanks to everybody that's joined. I really appreciate it. Mike Witt. Show us your face. We want to see your face. You won't see my face. He says, don't be afraid, Jasper. Just can't, the littlest thing. You won't see my face. He said, don't be afraid, Jasper. Jasper was afraid. He had good reason to be. Oh, man. Anyways, so that's where I'm at. Here's a couple things for today. We'll get into super chats. We'll give it to the calls. Here's a couple. Number one is things do feel kind of weird right now. It does. It feels like you had that big buildup to the initial camp and the reaction and overreaction, whatever that is. Now things have leveled off, but you don't have answers, and it's causing anxiety. So a couple things today. Number one is I did want to know if you guys have any thoughts about the coaches poll that came out. Notre Dame number 5. What's interesting to me is that number one is it's all perception. So this is just that's the most practical use of this chart is perceptual, not practical. It tells you where people think your operation's at on a perceptual level. The reason I'm saying it's not that practical is half the teams in the top 10 play each other week 1. Half the teams in the top 10 or more play each other week 1. So use this as a gauge of where they think you're starting out from, but it's all going to change real quick. So you got all these big games that are going on, and you're going to reshuffle this after just one game. So I do think it's interesting. There's some things on there that surprise me a little bit, and then there's some teams that are not on there that you like to see, like USC, not in the top 25 at all. Not in the top 25 at all. USC. So now Lincoln Riley can do his best fake Brian Kelly, fake motivational thing, use that to prove everybody wrong, that whole thing. But I just thought it was interesting. They're getting no love at all. It's like people are over it. And it's just like, dude, they just don't believe, apparently. So I think that interests me a great deal to see them absent. And so that could change. LSU number 8. Half the summer, Penn State and LSU been getting the most love of anybody I've seen. I'm just telling you, Penn State and LSU have been getting pumped up all summer. And those are the two that stand out to me that I've seen the most hyped up, propped up media on. And I just think it's interesting. And so that why are Michigan fans freaking out about being ranked 14 or 15? I think they're in a weird spot. It just feels like nobody knows what to do with them. You're kind of waiting to see if they get nailed by the NCAA. It just feels like nobody knew what to do with Michigan. Put him in the mix somewhere. It's a weird vibe with Michigan right now. So I don't know what to make. Yeah, 14th. It's like we don't know what to do with Michigan, but it's a big brand name and they might get nailed. And I don't know if that matters or not. We're just gonna put them in there. I don't know. Oh, what about this, you guys, as a content idea? Callers, I'm coming right to you. Couple super chats, and we'll go right to you. What about this? Would anybody be interested in a LSU Clemson YouTube watch party? You know how you see people that'll have the game on, like in their studio. You can't show the game, right? It's got to be on mute or you'll get a copyright. But like watching it together that night, would anybody want to just like have a couple drinks and watch that game together and we can react in the chat and root against Kelly together and do that on that night? And then I'm going to be totally honest with you. If it gets to the point where LSU's probably going to win, I'm going to be mad and probably just end the stream. But, like, I don't know. I just thought of that as the day before our first game, we're all going to be worked up, wanting to be together and our anxiety anyways. Maybe we do that, and I dial it up for just we watch that game and root against Kelly and have a couple drinks, and we just play it along, and we just watch together and react here. Let me know if you guys are up to that. I don't know. Yeah. You should do a Zoom meeting platform so we can all have our cameras on. Yeah, the danger with that is, people have mentioned that before. The danger with that is if one idiot has one too many drinks and shows one thing on their camera YouTube doesn't like, I'm in big trouble. And I don't like that liability. I trust most of you, but that's the problem. If you open that up and anyone has anything going on in the background or anything that YouTube doesn't like, I'm in trouble. Because it's on my show. And that makes me really anxious to bring on random people or let people jump in. All it takes is one thing from one person and my channel's screwed. So that liability I don't love. Okay, couple super chats. And then any thoughts about the new rankings, the preseason rankings? And then here's another thing I want to know. What do you want to see next out of Notre Dame camp? Just straight up. John's lost his edge. Yeah, me not wanting to get my channel banned is me losing my edge. Wow, you got me. Walter White, you got me. Does YouTube not like white guys in a do-rag? I think that would be allowed. So, yeah, John's taking the channel corporate. I don't want to lose my channel, so I've lost my edge. There's no in between. I want to know what you want to see next from camp. The next phase, getting on the equipment, hitting a little bit, getting into that part of this as it goes down the road. What do you want to see next? And make it more than just, I want to see a quarterback win the job. That is clearly, like, let's not do that one. Number one is one of the quarterbacks to earn the job. Clearly, okay? That's what you want to see, the evolution of one of those guys rising to the top, separating, okay? You don't want to see our face. Yeah, it's the opposite. Show us your face. Keep your face covered. I want to know what you're looking for next. So whether that's, the O-line all coming together, I want to see the wide receiver. When we get the little clips, I want the highlights of the wide receivers jumping all over, whether it's thinking about the defense. I saw somebody say something about the defensive line. I want to, Brian Kelly has a Netflix show. Yeah, I saw that, and I trolled it on Twitter the second I saw it. Something about him and the quarterback having the same agent. They're all in it together. I trolled. I just put in, it was from Netflix's Twitter, not even LSU. It was from Netflix's Twitter, and they had that video. And in the comments, I just put the picture, the still frame of Kelly bumping and grinding on that guy. I just put that picture. I didn't even say anything. I just put that picture there in the comments. So I don't know, you guys. So that's kind of what I'm after. Any surprises? And I'm going to put the, when we get into the early calls, I'm going to go ahead and put up the chart with the top 25, just so anybody, you could get a look at it. But anything about that, and then what you want to come next. Here's where I'm at with the defense. With the game on mute, John will do the game commentary. Absolutely. Can you imagine how entertaining that could be for Kelly versus Clemson? I think it'd be fun. I think we should think about it. Have a couple drinks, loosen up, and have a relaxed format where we just take some time and BS. Sounds good to me. I'm thinking about it. So what do you want to come next? For me, with the defense, if you feel like the defense is in a really, really good spot still, even with Ash, and everybody's up on the new terminology and the communication, whatever practical changes there's going to be to the packages, the communication, whatever. The next thing I want to see is, that's a luxury. If you feel like your defense is at a high level of like efficiency starting out, then you could get into really being specific about maxing out these roles, maxing out all of this stuff, figuring out exactly which body type and mental type to put in which position on what down and distance and what package to maximize this whole thing out. Get the most out of each individual guy and the most out of the team. This is, if you're in a good place there, starting out with the defense, then you get to be picky and play with these toys. On 3rd and long, here's our best lineup to go get the quarterback. On a run stuffing down, here's who we need where. Like, you could do, it isn't that complicated. It is for me. I'm a dummy. But these guys can handle it. Figure out who you're going to put where to maximize all this out if you feel like you're already in a really, really good spot. What about the kicker? Better be good. What's the guy's name? Barnett? Something like that? You better be good. I don't know what to tell you. You better be good. Doesn't get a lot of attention, but you saw in those playoff games just how big of a deal a good kicker is for Notre Dame. Gotta have it. You gotta have it. So let me do a couple super chats. If you're on hold, you're going to be on the air. We'll get through these. We'll get caught up. Good morning, Johnny in the Always Irish Nation. Hope you're all having a good week. Well, I'd be having a better week if we just want more informations and we don't have it. And that causes people like me a little bit of anxiety. Sounds like golden is golden on Saturday. It's the weirdest thing in the world. All of summer is all recruiting focused all the time. And then right when camp starts, it cools off completely. You barely hear a word about it. And then now it's like, oh yeah, I forgot. Golden kicked his commitment down the road. Are we still in good spot or whatever? It appears Notre Dame's still in a really good spot. It just got weird when he thought he was going to commit and he pushed it down the road. That's usually not a good sign, but it feels like Notre Dame people think Notre Dame's in a good spot. So we'll react to that. Maybe we do another Saturday night show and we could celebrate if he's Irish. So I don't know, man. Commander. I can usually tell if somebody's a Michigan or Miami fan because they all have a trait of being a really stupid person. WPP, low IQ. Tex ND, looks like QB competition is going to drag out. I'd like some clarity for my general sanity. That's the other thing, you guys. I'm going to support whoever it is. I am not 100% in a camp for one guy or the other. It's the fact of not having any clarity. I sincerely think Notre Dame fans are going to get behind whatever the decision is. I have no doubt about that. Both these guys have a lot to offer once they get rolling. It's the uncertainty at this juncture that's causing the anxiety. And so once you get clarity on who it's going to be, I think some nerves will calm down. It's like, okay, we know who that guy is. Now we wrap the offense around him and we know what we're doing and we build it up to Miami and get on the same page. But it's like the uncertainty now of not knowing is really messing with people. They will play both, I promise. You know what else, Sid? The more this goes along without naming a starter, the more I think it's likely you see both guys. If it's that close or whatever, you find a way to involve them both. And you got to be smart about that. You could do that in a way that causes problems, confusion, contention. We don't know who our leader is. We're pulling this guy one series and then it's you. What are we doing? There's a way you could set this up that it doesn't turn into a cluster. But if you're not careful, it could turn into a cluster. Okay. So I don't know. I don't know. Has anybody heard anything new about the QB battle? Just rumors about who threw a pick 6 in the practice over the weekend or not, man. It is cooled off. It's cooled off. C. Jones. Morning, John. Feel very confident about week 1 in Miami. Reminds me of the Holtz days and not Kelly Knight's edition there. What's the latest rumor on the streets? I know things have cooled off. Things have cooled off. $10 holler from the rotate. Is ND's biggest accomplishment under Freeman getting off Uncle Lou's We're Back list? Yeah, good job. I'm sure that was a priority. Get on a YouTuber's list. Just ND gal $20 holler for the Always Irish Tailgate permits fund. See you guys there. Great. You're going to be there. You know where we hang out. It'll be great to see you again. She came with a Shamrock Notre Dame pin the last time, pinned it right on me like I was going out the door to prom. I appreciated it. She had these cute little like Shamrock things. She put one on my shirt. I felt like I was going to homecoming. $10 holler from my main man, Martinez. I'm more excited about the tailgate. I've seen one game in Notre Dame Stadium, been to South Bend a dozen of times. If somebody needs my tickets, they're there. Man, that's very, very generous of you. We all work together. Man. All right, let's get to the calls. Let's see what's going on. If you're on hold, you're going to be on the air. A couple new callers and some that have not called in a very long time. We're going to get to Dr. John. I'm sure he's got a tee off to get to.
Well, I'm rolling on US 169 heading for my Ryder Cup thing. I got to pull off so I can talk to you. I am pulling off right now. So I got nothing for you, John. I was going to ask you what's new.
Yeah, Doc, it really, first off, safe travels and good luck in the event. That'll be fun. Ryder Cup things have a different feel. That'll be fun. The team aspect of it makes it unique. I like it. Doc, it's just cooled off. You're not getting a lot of details and information leaking, and we're in a little weird lull here. I'm hoping for the next big batch of opinions and whatever, but it's just kind of things have cooled off a little bit.
Yeah, I was hoping you had some news for me.
Things are pretty.
You got nothing.
I know. I'm waiting to get more information. It's a weird spot to be. Things have chilled out a little. I don't know what to make of it. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. Of course, I'm going to be on the loop for the next 3 days. I won't be able to check in on Friday on chat. We'll be having our last 18. It's a great format, John. You probably played in the stuff, but
yeah, it's fun.
We start out a practice round today. I think I tee off about 1 o'clock. But then tomorrow, the first 9 holes is better ball. Then you play a shamble, and then a scramble. We have 27 tomorrow. I'll never get through it, of course. And then Friday morning, we've got alternate shot, which is a bitch, as you know.
Yeah.
And then singles the last 9. So,
yeah, that's awesome. That's a great format.
Okay, before I forget, don't hang up on me. Put me on hold so I can listen to the rest of the show, okay? Can you do that?
You know what? I think I'm gonna have to hang up on you, and then call me right back, and I just won't answer. I'm gonna have to when I hang up, yeah. So when I hang up on you, just call back. You'll go at the bottom of the list, and then I won't answer you, and then you'll be able to just listen.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That sounds good. Well, right now, if everybody pulls their Minnesota maps out, right in the middle of the state almost on the east side is a big body of water called Mille Lacs, one of the biggest lakes in Minnesota. And that's what's right to my right now. So anyway, you have a great show. I will call back so I can hear these yahoos. And go Irish, and I'll check in with you next Monday. Oh, you're going to have a Saturday show.
I think so. I think we're going to do Saturday Night Live again. I'm having a good time with it. A lot of engagement. I think I am going to try another Saturday Night Live.
It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
All right. I have no idea who's in chat, but hi, everybody. And that's all the time I have for you, buddy.
Beautiful, man. Hey, safe travels. Have fun with the golf. Just call back and I won't answer.
I will. I'll do that before I start moving.
Hey, you know what? Hold on, Doc. I think there's an option to return you to the queue. I'm going to try that, and maybe that accomplishes it. Okay?
All right. Well, you have a great show.
See ya. All right. I'm returning. Let's see. Return him to the queue. Yeah, there he is. He could listen from there. Beautiful. Here, let's do this. Look at this. Here we go. The latest on both QBs is that they're both struggling with accuracy and decision making. Well, if that doesn't make you feel any better, I don't know what will. It's just not the reports you want to hear. And I'm waiting for it to level out and somebody to just rise to the top. I'm waiting. But if that's the update, you don't like it. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, man. We're going right back to the calls. John, I have a question. What happens if ND wins 8 or 9 games? Will you cool on Freeman? What does it look like to? If you go 9-3, what does that look like? Is it quarterback driven where the losses are early in the year while the quarterback's trying to get his head around his new life? And then it settles down and you're good later in the year. It also depends what that kind of looks like. There are a lot of people that were looking at 26, not 25 for Notre Dame making a deep run again, right? So I don't know. We won 9 with Pine. Calm down. Different dynamic. That's not a direct translate to me. Do you have the same exact schedule? No, you don't. You're jacked loaded on the front end. That's a different world. It's a different world. You could have a really good Notre Dame team that catches a couple losses in the first 5 games. The margin is thin here. A couple bad decisions by the new quarterback. You could easily have a couple losses before you get to the second bye, the second off week. So I'm just telling you, it's just danger all over. Yeah, what if we go winless? What is this, 2016 all over again? Chicago's very own Tom Frolley will have some positivity for us.
Hello, sir. I am in the midst of thinking about everything that you said about the Purdue, the ticket, da-da-da. So, bright spot. Yesterday, I'm trying to track down 6 tickets for a buddy of mine for the Boise State game. That's kind of a tall order, right? Especially with the entire state coming. Well, through Patreon and Always Irish, a gentleman named John Fritter got a hold of me yesterday, sold me 2 tickets at face value so I can give them to my pal. And actually, he hooked them up. So if anybody else has got 4 tickets, I'll take them anywhere. It doesn't matter. These are for kids that never been to the game, never been to Notre Dame Stadium. They want to get in the building, and they're they're our fans. So,
yeah, and that guy is
you know,
that guy is the nicest guy in the world. Sent me a
he's
letter.
gentleman.
He sent me a letter after the season last year, a personal letter, and like said all these nice things about what we were doing and Patreon and everything else. Like, he is one of the nicest guys I've met. So that's the beautiful thing about people all connected through the Patreon, and we have that portal up on the chat just for ticket exchange and that kind of thing. So I'm glad to see it's working.
Yeah. And listen, I had some thoughts yesterday. You know, this whole quarterback thing's got everybody in a quandary, right? And I thought back to what Steve Angeli did against Penn State in that last drive of the first half.
Yep.
He was as cool as a cucumber. And all they did was roll him out in the pocket. And you know, he didn't make any sterling throws. He just got it to the open receiver. Now we've got two much more athletic quarterbacks with better arms. I don't know who's going to start, but boy, from what I see, if they can replicate something like that, an amalgamation of a rollout quarterback, somebody that can run RPO and just get the ball. We don't have to hit home runs right off the bat because of the running game, right? And look at the targets he's got. I just think it's not going to be as it's not. I don't think it's going to be a shit show. I really don't. And regardless of the lack of experience. I mean, obviously, Angeli had some playing time, and he had some, a lot more playing time than these two guys have going into the season. But at some point, they just got a ball, and they got to get over that hump. I know they're going to be, like Goolsby said, they're going to be pissing down their legs in that atmosphere. Whoever starts against Miami, right? But I think they're going to be ready. I really do.
I know. It's just weird, man. You're just not hearing a lot, and that makes you wonder what's going on. And like, there's no certainty, and it has people extra uncomfortable in a time that already you're full of questions. I don't know, man. I'm hoping that something pops soon and we get a little more down the road here.
Well, yeah, and I just all the stuff. So it was a nice diversion last night. I did tune in that Netflix, that SEC propaganda thing they got going on.
Yeah,
and I did bypass the Brian Kelly. I could not watch that. The only time I want to see Brian Kelly is when he's getting beat in the fourth quarter of a big game. Then I'll tune in on that. I can't. Truth be known, I used to kind of pull for LSU in the SEC.
Yeah,
I always kind of liked LSU, and now that he's there, from what I understand, I was reading some messages in the chat how he showed both his political, front and his real self. And it's just like good riddance. So bye-bye. I'll tell you who impressed me is that Shane Beamer. I don't know what your guys' opinion of, but I think that's a stand-up guy. And he's got a quarterback down there. They might be fun to watch. I was looking at the top 25 coaches poll. Yeah. I'm looking at some of these teams. Really? I said, how do they not have Oklahoma in the top 25? And I think Illinois is overrated, even though it's Bielema ball, but there's some of those teams I just don't understand going down the list, and then having Notre Dame at 5, I don't care. I don't care if they were 5 or 15. The lower ranking that they are, the better as far as I'm concerned, going into the season.
What do you make of USC not on the top 25 at all? No USC at all.
I think I'll tell you what. If USC, with that team and that quarterback right now, if their talent, if they open up against Illinois, they beat Illinois by 14 points. I'd love to see that. I don't know why USC's on there either. I think that's the coaches and some other opinions of their lack of defense, possibly. But we know that he's got some sterling athletes coming in there. And look, you take a team like Illinois, they got 40 new players coming in off the transfer portal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's impossible with the transfer portal these days, unless it's, cream of the crop, Ohio State, Texas. We pretty much know what they have, right?
Yeah.
Clemson, they're loaded. But anything past that, you can't really. And the thing that I took away from that, because I caught an interview with Brett Bielema, the coach of Illinois, talking about, it's a new day. I like this day and the transfer portal. Really? You like bringing in 40 new guys? That's because you can't recruit down there. And that's what helps. And when I heard him say that, I was like, this is where Marcus Freeman got the edge in the Midwest on a lot of these schools. He is recruiting. He wants to win the high school recruiting battle and develop the players. That is the secret sauce. Nobody, very rarely they talk about that stuff.
Yeah.
And you see, I can see the cohesiveness of these kids on Notre Dame. Now, granted, especially the freshmen and sophomores. Yeah, there's some real, potential All-American guys, and there's a lot of egos. So you got to man, and they're kids still. They're going to do stupid things. But it seems to me that Freeman tells them to choose hard, and he makes them have self-discipline. I don't hear a lot of other coaches, through the country that really want to win the high school battle. I know Ohio State does, even though they took a lot of transfers last year.
Yeah.
They still have they've got the most. I think it's the next to Florida and Texas. And California. It's right up there. Ohio's a football-rich state. We know that. They own Ohio, so they're always going to get their players. But for Notre Dame to be a national program and to win these kids from all corners of the country because they want to play for Marcus Freeman, they want to go to Notre Dame. And I started watching some of that the end of the LSU thing. And he's got these guys, the two Weeks brothers that are linebackers, and they're out hunting in the field with their father, leading up to the Southern Tailgate. You know where the Notre Dame players were? They're on campus with their nose in a book, lifting weights, getting ready to play. To hell with LSU.
Yeah.
I can't stand how they prop up the SEC like that. I just can't.
Yeah.
It's a show.
Yeah.
There's that veneer of we're student athletes. Yeah, my ass. Okay. Yeah, you're out in the field hunting.
Tom,
and you're 50 miles away from Baton Rouge.
Yeah, let's zone it in on Notre Dame to round this out here. What are you looking for next from camp? Obviously, you want the quarterbacks to have better results and better news coverage. That's obvious. What else are you looking for Notre Dame as they get in the next phase of camp?
The linemen. That's where the games are won and lost, right there. So I'm praying there's no crappy leg injuries, knees, ankles, pulled hamstrings, especially the ones that are, long-term recovery. I hope they keep their legs. I want to see them in pads as quickly as they can. I think they're going to roughen them up. I actually would like to see them go live, like Goolsby said the other night, and take the red jerseys off the quarterback. Let's go live. Let's see what we've got, because the defense ring we know is ahead of the offense. I want to see how this offensive line is going to handle those two defensive ends, healthy defensive ends.
Yeah,
I'm telling you. So if they can start getting progressively better, I'm talking about the offensive line, then that's the reports I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Everything else we pretty much know what we're going to get, right? And if the reports from the offensive line looks good and there's very few injuries, just, nagging. But from what I understand, they're quicker, bigger, stronger, and faster. They're just all the way around. So that's...
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what comes next the rest of this week. Everybody's kind of waiting to hear something pop with that quarterback thing one way or another. Like, it's a little bit of an uncomfortable position here. Now you're in camp and you're still not getting a lot of information. It's just kind of messing with people. That's how I feel. Anything else, Tom? Thanks for joining.
Yeah, so the, when you're talking about the actual season and the way it's going to kick off, don't worry about Purdue. I'm sorry you got whacked out and you got to pay those prices.
It is what it is.
But
I'm not trying to be a
like the
cheapskate.
idea.
I just wasn't expecting it to be premium.
No.
I just wasn't expecting premium pricing for Purdue. I'm sorry. I know they're a Big Ten team and they're an in-state team, but I was not expecting. I was a little shocked.
No, look, I don't like what they're doing down there at the ticket office, right? And you know, it is what it is. They're going to put premium pricing on that, and it chases a lot of people away. But they know that there's going to be that big contingent from West Lafayette, and you know, whatever, it's fine. But the USC idea, I like.
Yeah, we may have something. We may have something coming. I may have an announcement on that soon. So everybody keep that in mind if you're interested in coming for USC, either for a tailgate or just for the game or both.
Because I would really like to. That's the game I'd like to be in the stadium for. The Purdue game, I'm probably going to watch it at the Morrison.
Yeah,
I'll come down at tailgate and have fun. And I've been in that stadium over 230 times.
Come tailgate with Johnny Boy and head over to the Morris. You can't beat that for a morning.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a good day. That'll be a lot of fun. So listen, I got to cut. God bless. Go Irish. And John, thanks again for having this platform.
Oh, no problem, Tom. Thanks for being a part of it, buddy. We'll talk. See ya. Oh, man, we're going to keep it moving. I got a 419 I haven't talked to in a full year, and a 479 that's a first-time caller. I'm going to pop those guys up just because it's either been forever since we talked to them or a first-time caller. I want to try and get as many new people in as I can. SPF, the resident LSU fan here, said, there goes John making the excuses. I don't know what you want me to do, SPF. I was asked what happens if something goes wrong this year for Notre Dame and they end up with a record we're not happy with. Starting from that conclusion, I'm logically working backwards from like how I think we get there. So I don't know what you want me to do. You're making excuses. Is it reasons or excuses? I've always said that on this channel. What is the difference between a reason something happens or it being an excuse? Because those words could be interchangeable with a lot of football stuff, but they carry very different weight. They carry very different weight. So when you tell me, what if they go 9-3 this year or something, and I reverse engineer what I think that would look like, the only way I see Notre Dame at 9-3 is early struggles. And I think a big part of the early struggles would be the new quarterback making a couple really bad decisions that you just don't have the margin for in those early batch of games. So I don't know, like excuse or reason, I don't know. But somebody threw to me a bad record that we're not happy with, and I'm reverse engineering how I think we'd get there. And it doesn't involve a lot of losses on the back end of the schedule. It makes me think if you end up backed into a corner like that, some bad things happen early. And I have a hard time believing the new quarterback wouldn't be a part of that disaster. So on the worst case, that's where I see it. I have a hard time seeing them ending up 8-3 and 9-4, and I don't see problems with quarterback early as a part of the recipe for that. Okay? So I don't know what you want from me. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. All right, 419. It has been literally like a couple weeks from a whole year. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, John, how you doing today?
Good, man. It has literally been a year. What's going on? What's new in Notre Dame land? Anything?
So, man, I got to tell you, I listen all the time, and whenever I try to call in, it must be an act of God or something. Someone either calls me or I have a work issue going on, and then I have to hang up. So I'm off today, thankfully, and I was able to call. But, hey, listen, you know, I was thinking what you were saying about how it's been awful quiet coming out of camp.
Yeah.
And I think that's very intentional coming from this coaching staff.
Interesting. Walk that one out for me. Explain your thought.
I think I was listening to Blue and Gold last night, and Singer brought up just how different it is now with the fans having access to these players directly, being able to, you know, reach out via social media. And I think that there is just a lot of pressure put on these quarterbacks specifically. And you go back, 20, 30 years, the fans didn't have access to that. So I think what they're trying to do is they're just trying to keep them as cool and composed as possible, to keep this as an even quarterback battle as possible, as even of a quarterback battle. Because apparently CJ's been, warming up by himself. He's not, working with the team, and they're saying what he said was, I'm just nervous. I'm trying to just, I warm up in my own way. And I just think that this fan base has put a lot of pressure on that guy. And I think it's starting to show with, some of these mistakes.
Yeah,
so
man.
I'm kind of glad that we're not hearing a lot.
Interesting. Yeah, I like this. I actually like that. I just think the uncertainty is causing ramped up anxiety. And I just think people want to know. I don't think this is about, I know for sure I need it to be Carr, or I'm going to be losing my mind, or I need it to be Minchie, or I'm going to lose my mind. I just think the total sense of uncertainty that you don't know who it is the issue. And once you get one, everybody will line up behind him and then get behind him, and everybody will feel a little better. That's the weird part. I don't feel like there's these vicious camps, one against the other, for these guys. I just think it's purely not knowing, as the days go off the calendar, clicking towards Miami. It just has people on edge.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair point. Just regarding the quarterbacks, I mean, we haven't had a true quarterback battle since what? Phil Dracovic and Ian Book.
Ooh,
right?
Phil.
That's the last
Remember
one.
when Phil was going to save Notre Dame offense, and he was going to be the next guy? Remember that little period of time?
Oh,
Look at that arm.
I was completely convinced.
Yeah.
I still, he still might have a chance. Who knows? But yeah, we're not used to this. We've had Jack Cohn. We've had Riley Leonard. We had Sam Hartman. We knew what we were getting.
Yeah.
And now we're at a point, with this program where we are bringing in true talent, and we just got to let the coaches, they're the ones that see them the most.
Yeah.
And whatever decision, I support.
Can I ask you this? Do you?
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel a little peace of mind with this because I do trust Mike Denbrock. He's been doing this at the highest level for 40-something years. And I just kind of I want to trust that guy has a really good feel of what he has and where these guys are at and where he needs to get them. I do believe there's value in having an old head when you have this dynamic there. I feel like Denbrock's going to have a good feel of what this needs to be and where we're starting at. And I want to believe in that, but maybe that's me wanting to find comfort and peace here. I don't know.
No, definitely. And I think Freeman would probably, agree with you on that, because, I mean, you look at his previous hires for, offensive coordinator or, defensive coordinator, these are seasoned coaches. I mean, Al Golden is a seasoned football coach. Chris Ash, seasoned defensive coordinator. Same with Denbrock. They have been around the block. He is still a young coach going into his fourth year at Notre Dame. I think he leans on them, and I want him to use that, use both of these coordinators as a resource.
Yeah.
So ultimately, it sucks that we're not getting a lot of information, but I'm trying to look at it from a positive perspective and being like, hey, they just need to figure this out, as little distractions as possible. And, when it comes, I think probably next week we'll have a dedicated starter at the end of the week. Yeah,
time's running out. You feel like you got to get all the ones and know what we're doing here at some point. We got to go. It's just this weird little lull in the information and the reporting makes you wonder what's going on. I like your angle. Maybe they're insulating from everything a little bit. I don't know. And then one more question for you. What else are you looking for in the next phase of camp? The quarterback thing is its own monster. We all know that. What else are you looking for when we get all suited up? They start to hit a little bit, get the juices flowing. What else are you looking for?
So I'm very curious to see how our defensive line Well, I'm really curious about the defense in general with Chris Ash, and then specifically the defensive line. We had two transfers, the one from USC and the one from Virginia Tech come in. And I just don't know if we have more depth this year than last year. And I think that was a cause of, you look at the national championship game. That front four was getting blown up by Ohio State's offensive line. So I'm very curious to see what they throw out there, what type of schemes Ash has implemented, and, how we fare against Miami, who is a very talented team. And I do see, there's two sides of Notre Dame fans right now that are either blowing them off as not a serious contender or taking them too seriously. So
Yeah.
I think the defense is going to make or break, especially against a team like Miami.
Yep. It's and that is such a huge factor. The best thing you could do to protect that quarterback in Miami is to have a good defense, keeps the score down, man, relieve some of the pressure, not make it feel like you got to put up 40 to be Miami. It's a huge part of the equation. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, we're going to see whatever quarterback's out there. They're going to make mistakes. Mitchie hasn't played a full season since junior year of high school. Carr had an elbow injury last year in his senior year. He really hasn't played a lot of meaningful ball since his senior year. So they're going to make mistakes. It's just we need the safety net around them, and I think the coaching staff is going to be able to provide.
Yeah. Yep. It's it's going to be interesting to see what we get next, man. Hey, give me a call back when we have a little bit more clarity and make it not a year between calls. How about that?
Yeah, I need to take more Wednesdays off. I really do, John.
There you go. Hey, thanks a lot for calling, buddy. How much time you got, buddy? I appreciate it. Look at me. Who am I to be like, yeah, just ditch work to call my radio show? It's easy to forget. A lot of people are very busy at 9:00 during the weekdays. SPF. John, you guys have been talking too much trash this summer. No backtracking. It's amazing how with certain people, no matter what you say, gets wrapped and framed in the way they want to make it. What I've been saying this whole time is this is the most stability at a high level this program has had in the modern era for sure in the last 30 years, on and off the field. What's going on? Recruiting, the administrative stuff in the building, the actual footballs. It is the healthiest place this whole operation has been in 30 years. Clearly the most healthy place in all areas. And I see trouble waiting for Notre Dame all over the early part of that schedule if you're not careful. I've been saying that the whole time, and now it's, John, you've been talking too much trash. That has been my main thing I've been talking about all summer. All summer is that I love where this is all headed, but there are landmines everywhere in the beginning of this schedule, and the margin is not that big for you to have some frustrations. I don't know how that's talking trash. I'm giving the fair thing on both sides. Feel great about where we're at, but could see some things going wrong early. What is that? So you just can't win, man. But then again, I'm dealing with LSU, so I understand there's an angle. 479 looks like this is a first-time caller, and then we'll have a couple more regulars. What's going on, 479? Welcome to the show. Thanks for calling.
Johnny boy, it's Nate down in Arkansas.
What's going on, man? Thanks for joining. What's on your mind?
Hey, man, my family and I actually came up to the Miami, Ohio tailgate last year. My daughter brought you the Starbucks card. Do you remember us?
Yes, I do. Thank you very much for the reference. That was so nice. I really do appreciate that. That was very, very creative because you took something I yelled about and then you worked it into the angle. Really creative. Thank you.
So Johnny, I listen to the show every day, and when I get home, the kids know when the show is on, and they want to know what your rant of the day was. So I go back and I'll show them that. So they love you, but I don't often get a chance to call. I'm working during the week, like you just mentioned about most people. But man, this Arkansas game feels like the biggest game in Notre Dame history for me.
I get that. I was going to ask that.
SEC lunatics.
Yeah, based on your, and here's the thing, man. It's dangerous because we have an obligation to be all concerned about Miami and A&M as we sit right now. That is getting like most of the attention, and it should, because those come first and they set the stage for what everything else is going to be and what the vibe is. But I'm telling you, man, midday start at Arkansas is dangerous if you're not prepared. It is.
Absolutely, man. And these fans here, they've had it on their calendar forever. It's SEC this, SEC that.
Yep.
I was riding in the truck last night with another 8-year-old, and he told my son they're trash talking about the game. And at 8 years old, he said, "Yeah, but it's hard to win in the SEC." So they start these guys young, and I know the fan base here, they could win one game this year, and if it was that one, it would change their perspective, and I would have to move.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, man, it is just and the other thing that I'm struggling with here is like what a big game USC is, and all this could be the last one in South Bend and all this stuff and like whatever. It's just I'm having a hard time processing things beyond the first two games because the circumstances of how those go are going to shape the feel around all the other games. It's almost like a pointless exercise for me to think about them, because I don't know where we're going to be at and where the mindset's going to be and what the vibe's going to be. And so I don't want to like not pay attention later in the schedule, but I'm so worked up with those first two games. They're going to dictate the whole vibe for the whole year.
No, absolutely. I felt like last year, the Saturday going into the A&M game, I felt like to me that game was one of the biggest ones in anticipation because of how much it meant.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, we know 7 short days later, that was short-lived. I think that was the biggest, the biggest high and the biggest low I've felt as a fan. I've been a fan my whole life, like down here in SEC land. But man, I'm right there with you. It seems like if you get out of Miami with a win, you can take a deep breath. But we've got to wait a week, and then you've got A&M. And I think that A&M game really. Depending on how that goes, I think if they win that one, I'm pretty confident about the rest of the season. If you're 1-1 in those games, man, I'm stressed out for a while.
Yeah. It's just going to be interesting. You can see in your mind as a Notre Dame person how this comes together nicely, and then you can also see a road where there's some struggles here. It's just we're all going to be absolutely losing our minds, seeing what we're going to get against Miami and learning where this is all starting from. It's going to be so interesting. And seeing all these other good games the day before is only going to ramp up our anxiety because you're going to get answers about other teams and not yours for one more day. Like, I'm really excited for this, man.
Yeah, and I think, first of all, good thing it's on a Sunday. We can go to church first and pre-repent for all of our mishaps on Sunday night. But I think everybody needs to take a little break, if it's even possible, on the QB situation. They're gonna baby them, I believe, the first game like they did Riley last year. If you remember, they didn't ask a lot of Riley until the game was really on the line, coming down the last bit of the stretch. I think we're going to see a little bit of that, whoever it is, in the first game, and then I think really ramp it up after they've got that one game of seeing, hey, what they did well, what they did bad. And then they're gonna have some a little more open playbook, I think, for the QB going into that A&M game.
Yeah, that'll be. Yeah, you kind of got to get an idea where you're starting from, kind of that concept. And then, what are your feelings about the defense? Do you have anxiety, or do you think Chris Ash will take right over where Golden did and maybe even tighten things up more? Or are you wait and see on the defense? Where are you at on that side of the ball?
I have kind of marked it off all year as the defense is going to be good. They got dudes. I went to the Clemson game in 2018 in Dallas, and Clemson warmed up. I said, "There's no way these guys are a different athlete." Watching and being at games the last 5-6 years, that athlete has steadily changed, and we went from being 5, 6, 10 guys that could compete with anybody to a roster up and down. And a lot of those guys are on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm not super worried about it. I trust Freeman. I think Ash would have to be pretty bad to screw it up.
Yeah.
You know, there may be a setback in the first few games like there was with Freeman. There may be, you know, a mistake here and there in the first few games like there was with Golden. But I think, you know, end of the year, we're looking at, hey, this is the top defense. I'm not super worried about them. They're deep, they're long, they're fast.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. I may prove to be wrong.
I'm telling you, dude.
I'm pretty calm about that side of the ball.
Especially that secondary. They're long, they're strong, and they're down to get the friction on. You know what I'm talking about on the back end of that defense, brother?
That's right.
I'm serious. Like, I know
right.
it. I know it's funny because it's an old rap song from the early 90s, but I mean it. They are long, strong, and looking to get the friction on. Them dudes are real dangerous back there.
Well, and it's so different because I can remember 2 years ago, you know, you're like, oh crap, you know, it's going to go. If they get it to the second level, you know, or they take a deep shot, like I don't trust it. You know what I mean? I was at BMO's first game at the Shoe in 2022, and I'm like, this guy's different. He's a freshman, and I said we need more guys like that. And I think now. That is more of the regular rather than the exception to the rule. They've got a lot more guys like that, and then that just leaves me in a comfortable spot. Yeah.
It's man, it's going to be exciting, and I can't wait to get answers. I really can't wait to get answers to all this. But the program's in a really good spot. I need the results on the scoreboard to match where I think this program is in my mind. That's the big thing here. And so we'll see, man. Hey, thanks for joining, and try and do it again. Really good call. Great to have you aboard.
You bet. Thanks, Johnny. Have a good day, my man.
Have a good one. Man, I like getting these new callers in. It warms my heart. I love the regulars, obviously, but I need to get new people in here, and I love it when I see people that haven't called in years or first-time callers. Again, just one ND gal. Thanks a lot for the tailgate fund. $10 holler, my main man Martinez. Oh, we did that one. If anybody needs tickets, that's generosity in a Notre Dame type way, for sure. Let's see. $20 holler from Pilney. The OSU problem has to be solved before ND can win a title. Now more than ever, they are in the way. It's a problem. 1936 is the last time you beat them, but it's not a front and center problem because they're not on the schedule, right? Like, that's a problem you may have to confront if you get into the playoff and have to go to the horseshoe or something, obviously. But like, that is in the background, but without them on the regular schedule, that's not in the forefront to me right now. It's just not. I'm happy to admit when I'm wrong. I have no problem with that. So I don't know. It's Chili's. Nobody's there. And ND's become Disneyland. Nobody there to see football. A historic monument. The fan base isn't loud. I used to believe this 100%. It's getting better. It's starting to reverse course. It genuinely is. Not for like a 2:30 game against Central Michigan, but the night games, it has been a legitimately good experience. It's never going to be Penn State. It's just not going to be that kind of deal. But for where we've been at, the stadium experience, especially for the big night games, is rapidly improving. You get a bunch of beer and wine in there now, it's going to get louder. That's just what happens when people drink. Now that they're selling the beer, it'll get louder. And I want that money to go to NIL too. Those $15 beers, man. John, as a former mental health professional, looks forward to all of our football neuroses to go. I love it. That's my old thing. I just sit there and play in our minds with where this is all at. I absolutely do. There's no doubt about that. Oh, man. Let's talk to Tom Frolley. I'd like to introduce you to City Cheers, the super app changing the way you go out. City Cheers is giving every bar, restaurant, club, and golf course in America a free app. That's right, completely free. For venues, it's your own branded platform to promote events, specials, and live music straight to your guests' phones. For guests, you get perks, loyalty rewards, and Express Check, a game changer that lets you view, tip, and pay your tab right from your phone. No waiting, no lines, no wallet, no problem. Most places even give you money off your first visit using the app. Whether you're behind the bar or sitting at the bar, City Cheers makes the experience better. Patrons, download the app and see for yourself. For venue management, call friend of the show and loyal Notre Dame son, Tom Frolley, to get started. 773-332-7742. And be sure to tell him Always Irish sent you. All right, we are back. And Chili's, the other thing is, too, when you do what I do every single day, yeah, some of your takes are going to end up being wrong. There's nobody who does this every single day as much as I'm live giving my opinion on stuff that's right all the time. Like, that's just not going to happen. When you are doing this, giving your opinion every single day, you're going to get some things wrong. I've never said I was perfect, but you always, and Commander does this too. He'll take like one thing I said and apply it to everything I say. Like, it's just the way it goes. Tough crowd around here. 404, what's going on?
Oh, Johnny, how much time you got, buddy?
How much time
What's
you
going
got?
on, man?
Show us your face. We want to see your face. I don't know, man. We're in a weird spot. All the build up to camp, then the initial kind of reactions. Now things have settled down, and I feel like everyone's waiting for the next wave.
Yep. So I've overall, for the last few weeks, few months, whatever, over the off season, feel pretty good about it. And I'd say by and large, I still do about Miami, but I checked out something on just the series history yesterday. And I'm like, man, that's kind of odd. That gives me some John Kennedy anxiety about this a little bit.
Ooh,
So
I don't wish that for anybody. I don't wish that for anybody.
John, so I don't know if this has been aired out, so excuse me if it is. But did you know that since 1980, like if you remove everything else before that, since 1980, the home team, this is excluding obviously neutral site games, bowls, whatever, the home team has won 11 of 12 games in this series, with the exception being, I guess Miami beat us at home 19 something. I forgot what. I'm 30, so I can't remember the whole thing. And we've lost 6 straight at Miami, which is just a little concerning. So.
Okay, let me throw you this. Do you
my
feel
anxieties, John?
Do you feel a little better that Notre Dame succeeded in that building in a chaotic environment, albeit not against Miami, but against Penn State in that exact building and a full crowd, a split crowd? Like, is it the building and that vibe, or is it Miami specifically? Like, I'm just throwing that out there. I've had people be like, yeah, 2017 and whatever, but at least we won in that building in a chaotic environment recently. So maybe that makes people feel a little better. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to ask you the same overall thing, and I think yes, like there is something about as a program being able to do that, because and you could say the same thing. I don't know how many times we've played in the Sugar Bowl or whatever in the Saints Stadium. I imagine that's somewhere we haven't historically done too hot. So, as a program, playing those Dragons, obviously a good thing, but just something to keep in mind. And I think, I think I've alluded to this on previous calls, I don't really think we should be having a conversation on, if Carr wins, do we have a Kenny package? I think we need to get the first quarterback, whoever that is, slated. And I think we need to have some Buckner packages, because we're going to have some point where we stall out and we need a running quarterback. I don't know, man. I just have that instinct. So I'm curious if you have any revised thoughts on that. It's been a few weeks since I bounced that idea off.
Oh man, dude, it's just, we're talking about Minchie and Carr and what you're going to do. And is one guy going to emerge as the leader and the clear number one? Or are we going to do have packages for both or whatever? Can you afford to throw in any more like unknowns or any more, like, is that not pushing it? Or like who gets, I don't know how that works.
Well, you've said it yourself though, like they're more similar than people kind of give them credit for. And is there really a point of having, because like, would it even be a sub package? They'd just be running the same offense. I'm more talking about like, you're in a, let's say we don't do well on 3rd and shorts or something. We keep getting stalled out because everybody in the entire defense is keying on Love or whatever.
Yeah.
And we're struggling with placement, so we're not going to put it in the air. Like that kind of stuff where you have a running threat. And it's easy to overlook Buckner because he, to be honest, he doesn't look like Jalen Milroe or Riley Leonard for that matter. He's kind of an unassuming, you wouldn't really expect that dude to be able to run a 4.5 or how, that dude's crazy fast. So I don't know. I'm calling my shot. I think that's going to happen at some point this game, even if it's not in a like crisis situation. I think it's just going to be a wrinkle we put out there. And I think that's, in a similar capacity to kind of like the fake punts and stuff. Like, I think that's something we haven't really talked about is the importance of shifting gears here. The importance of retaining, what's his name, Marty Biaggi, I want to say. The importance of retaining that special teams play. We haven't really chatted about special teams, but think about how many times.
Yeah, but didn't we lose Biaggi? Wait, am I dreaming? Isn't Biaggi gone? Yeah, he's in the NFL. It's the other guy. Yeah.
Who am I thinking? Did we lose our guy from last year? Who was it? I might be thinking of the wrong year.
The year before, we lost Biaggi to the Colts, I think, if I'm remembering that correctly. That's but right. Here's what I was told. I was told this over the summer. I was told out of nowhere, somebody reached out to me that is in the program or around it. And they were like, I'm just saying, Brian Mason. Is Mason went to the Colts? Yeah.
Brian,
there we go. I knew we lost somebody to the Colts. I was told Notre Dame's working on a couple trick special teams plays that nobody's seen before. So I don't know if you're going to get that or not, but I didn't ask anything. And somebody messaged me and just said, just be prepared. They're working on a couple things that nobody's seen before. Like, okay, I'm down with that. Maybe you get Buckner out there throwing passes out of that look. I don't know.
Yeah, and what's funny about that is because I still have 20 minutes left on it, I think. Keep falling asleep at night. But we've been watching the 30 for 30 special, and there's that Lou Holtz quote of, like, oh, other teams only run trick plays when they don't think they can beat you straight up. And, here we are. We've been doing that, like, all the last 3 years in the Freeman area. I'm like, if you can give yourself an edge and fire yourself up in doing so, why not? So, anyway, I think special teams is going to be a game breaker at some point. And
man, dude, let me ask this: how do you, if you want to do multiple quarterbacks, whether it's the main two, Minchie, Carr, whatever, how do you set that up to where it doesn't turn into a cluster and nobody knows who the leader? Like, can you just don't you got to have one that's the main guy and then add in a couple different situational packages for the other guy? But it can't, you could do too much with this to where it gets complicated and works against you. But I could see a way you could make it work for you. But I think there's a thin line between overdoing that angle. You get what I'm getting at or no?
Oh, that's why I don't think you would have a 1A, 1B package, whatever you want to call it, for Minchie and Carr. And it might be unpopular. And I know Buckner's had his issues, and I wouldn't want him sitting back there in the pocket trying to read the entire defense. But it's a fundamentally different type of, just totally different archetype of quarterback. And I don't know, if I'm Miami, am I thinking whatsoever about a fourth string quarterback that transferred to Alabama, flamed out, and came back as a walk-on? Am I even thinking in my preparation I need to be on the lookout for a package Notre Dame trots out there where a legitimate run threat is under, behind center? I don't know. Maybe they do, but even if they did, I don't think they're going to do much prep for it. That's where I think you could just catch them off guard more than anything.
Yeah, man, this is going to be interesting. This came up on Patreon the other day too. We got so used to third and short, fourth and short, Riley Leonard's legs, figuring out a gap and getting what you need to do and plowing through the line or whatever. What Notre Dame's going to do in those short yardage things, like, do you do something similar? Do you just snap it to Love and figure he's going to figure out a way to get a yard no matter what? Like, what do you do then on those? You got so used to Riley Leonard just getting that done by himself. Do you snap it to Love and just figure he's going to muscle his way for a yard where there's a little hole or not, or what?
Yeah, and this would be a question for the chat because I do not know. But the one amusing thing that I can remember from the Tommy Rees offensive coordinator era was what do we call it, Mitchellpalooza. Put Mitchell Evans under there, let him just sneak it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if imagine like huge ass Eli Raridan doing that would be funny.
Yeah,
But
again, that's
brotherly stuff.
that's not a bad idea. You got a guy, you see how ripped Eli Raridan looks like? You could snap him the ball, tell him to fall forward and get a yard. The guy looks like a cyborg.
Yeah. He really does, man. He really does. So, but I all things considered, if there was a team that's going to snap a streak, what is it, a 6-game losing streak playing at Miami, who would do that besides this kind of Marcus Freeman-led team?
Yeah.
I mean, the lack of confidence I would have if we were under a Brian Kelly or a similar type of coach, similar kind of track record playing big games on the road. And I think it's such a great chance for Marcus to show growth from, one of the blemishes that we don't really talk about too much is that Sam Hartman Clemson game where we just went out. I think that early kick and we just didn't show up. That's not going to be this game, and it's a night game. So that's not happening. But what an opportunity for the program. I think they're going to make the most of it, but can't help but have some anxiety when I saw that stat. So just thought I'd pass that along.
Yeah, I think that's definitely fair. And it's a big moment. It sets the tone for everything that will come this year, man. It really does. Anything on the way out? Thanks for the call today.
Yeah, last quick thing is just anybody that hasn't watched, especially in the younger crowd, anybody that hasn't watched the 30 for 30, very entertaining. One black thing, John, one parallel that's interesting is just, previous regime like Jerry Faust getting their ass handed to him in 1985 and how I know there were still players on that roster that played in the 88 game, but a lot of parallels in that 80s rivalry dynamic to now. So we'll see how things go. But that's all I got, John. You have a good one, brother. I appreciate it.
Have a good one, man. Really appreciate it. We're getting some nice little array of callers here, man. $10 WPP. John, it's one thing to not be perfect in takes. It's another to consistently take Miami lightly. One is excusable. The other is not. I know WPP wanted us to be all Miami all the time right after blue and gold. It did take people a little while to get back into it. But yeah, man, watch that. Watch the 30 for 30. If you need to get juiced up, watch the 30 for 30 Catholics versus convicts. That'll do it, man. That'll do it. Look at this. The Rolling Coconut. Appreciate it. Shout out to John Kennedy. This show should have way more viewers. And this channel, Always Irish, way more subscribers. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Just glad you like what we do here. You guys are nice. Johnny, I see you're getting some NIL for yourself with City Cheers. Good for you. Hope you got millions. Not quite. We're working there. Not quite. And I said this before and I say it again. With anybody that wants to advertise here or do any of that, I really feel more comfortable making those deals with people I know from the Notre Dame network that own these businesses because it's people I know and I could trust them and I know they're good people and they're Notre Dame people. Like I have total confidence in that in a way I wouldn't if I just get approached by random people that want to do stuff and make a buck. $2 from Parker Jones. Trips to refs. I'm seeing good things about that. There you go. Sack and rattle. That sounds interesting. Ryan Elliott, $5 holler. Thank you, man. I like it when people just donate the money. They didn't even say anything. He just wants to donate to the tailgate cause. My main man, Martinez. What up?
Yo, Johnny, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Good. Yeah.
You hear me? Johnny, give me 1 second. Hey, real quick, man. Only thing I called in on real quick for, I'm so pumped. Tom Frolley is going to be at the tailgate, man. I got something for him. Man, that's Chicago's muscle. That's the muscle. That's why you got you on your watch list, Johnny. You got the cholo, you got the muscle. You got the hacker in Andrew Gilmore. You got the Wolf of Wall Street with WPP. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're going to have an interesting collection. That's for sure.
Hey, Johnny, real quick, man. I watched some of that ESPN and their analyst stuff, man. I really hate the SEC, man. I really hate that dog shit ass conference and the wannabe tough guys. And as much as I love my Irish faithful, man, like
the more we give into them, the more I'm coming right now. 1 second. The more it just boils my blood, man. 'Cause that conference, like I said, for years, they've had only all but 2 teams. Every year they've had all but 2 teams. And the one year that we annihilated their SEC champs, they say, "Oh, well, that's not the same Georgia team that they've had in the past years." So I just like that whole number 5 team doesn't bother me, man. You know what I mean, Johnny?
Yeah. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, Johnny. Hey, Johnny. Hey, it's loud, man. Hey, buddy, I love you, man. That's all I wanted to say was my piece, man. I'm more excited for the tailgate, man. So, hey, man, Johnny, love you guys. Onward, Notre Dame, buddy.
Have a good one. I just can't. Dude, I just can't get over that guy in the middle of this work site, and they're putting concrete down, the steamroller's rolling, and he's in the middle of it, holding it all up to talk to me. I hear all that beeping. If I heard my main man go, "Oh," I would have real concerns about what just happened. Oh my God, that's funny to me. Man, I love the loyalty, even during the workday. I absolutely love it. Swan Dong, $2 hour for the parking. Irish for life, $5 hour. At this rate, Notre Dame's quarterback battle starting to feel like a Vatican conclave. We're all just waiting for the smoke to turn blue and gold. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, it's interesting. It's really interesting. I don't know what to think sometimes. I just don't know what we're going to get to start this year, man. Somebody put about WPP wanting right after we got back from blue and gold, wanting all of it to be Miami. Why are we worried about recruiting so much? We're taking Miami lightly. That was WPP's angle right when we got back from blue and gold. There's a natural build-up arc to some of this to where, like, you can't force it and then, like, peak too early. I feel like a natural wave that kind of slowly grows in the summer to the beginning of the season. And then when you get into camp, it ramps up again. And then the closer you get, there's like a natural crescendo effect. And it's just hard to get people salivating over Miami in, like, April, in May. It just is. And I don't think that necessarily means you're taking them lightly, but there's just a natural flow to that excitement state. I don't know if that makes sense or not. I don't know. Hey, Roger. Does it surprise you at all that you guys weren't ranked in the top 25? Or, like, does that offend you, surprise you? Or are you like, they're making Lincoln Riley prove it and there's, like, no credibility till you get it on the field? Like, what do you make of that? I don't know if that matters or not. 714, what's going on? Another first-time caller? What's up? Right when I bring them on, they dropped off. I don't know what the deal is. 949, you're on the line, maybe. If I can hit the button, what's up?
Hey, it's been a while. I promised I'd call in with some Miami updates when I started hearing them, and starting to chop it up with the people in the streets, and then also hearing stuff on the radio.
Oh, I like that. I like that. You're a man in the streets. He's doing street interviews talking about Miami football. I like it. What are you hearing?
I have to. I'm homeless. No. What I'm hearing is this. So, first of all, I told you about the guy from Georgia who is on talk radio in Atlanta, but comes down here and he just trashed Notre Dame. He thinks they're going to win by 3 touchdowns.
What would that be based on, though? Like, what would make you? Like, I'm just objectively wondering what you're looking at that would make you think Notre Dame's a pushover at this point. Is it the quarterback thing, or what are you hammering down on that you think it's that obvious Notre Dame's terrible?
that guy's just a homer, and he's clueless. How he got a job in Atlanta sports radio is beyond me. But I did connect with a guy at a gas station in the middle of the hood. I mean, I'm talking Lauderhill's, right in the center of it. And he saw my Notre Dame shirt. He says, "Hey, nice shirt." I'm the only white dude for miles. He had a nice shirt. So we're talking a little bit. He says, "Yeah, I'm so-and-so." And when he said the name, I recognized it. He was a big-time high school quarterback, really good. And he got injured, so he didn't go to play in college. But he said it. I told him, I said, "Yeah, it's going to be a tough one to open up Miami." He said, "Miami's not going to beat Notre Dame." And then he was talking about how he said Carson is doing pretty well, but the receivers, they're questionable. He said, if they got any, it's one of the high schoolers, freshmen coming in, and then we'll be a star.
Yeah, it is. I believe 6. Their 6 top receiving targets all were gone off last year's team. That is a lot to replace because it's literally everything starting from scratch. So you're bringing in a new quarterback, and then you got to replace your top 6 passing targets. That's a big ask. And I still have questions about some of Miami's defense, especially on the back end.
That's where they're really weak, and hearing on the radio, etc. But get this really stood out to me. And this is the color analyst for the Miami Hurricanes on their own sports channel. You know, the what do you call it? The syndicate. I think it's called it. The anchor station here, and he's the color analyst for the games. They had him on, and he's talking a little bit, and they brought up Notre Dame. He said, "Let me tell you," and it was the tonality of his voice. He said, "Notre Dame is loaded," and so that told me a lot about comparison to what he's seeing at Miami practices. So that's very exciting. And then a couple other guys that are just fans that I see on work docs, et cetera. They're big Kane fans, but he says, "Yeah, we have no defensive backfield." Now, they may not know of transfers or freshmen coming in. There is one stud freshman coming in that should be good in their defensive backfield, but we know how that can be sometimes. But overall, I'm pretty confident with regard to Notre Dame coming down here. I'm excited. I can't wait. With regard to quarterback, I really don't care. I'm confident in whoever it is that steps up there. I think, our offensive line has way more experience than anybody that we're going to face. I think that our DBs are solid. We're going to keep our team in the game on defense. If we have a little bit of struggle scoring early on, but I don't think we will. I don't think we will against Miami. Against A&M, that's a different story because Elko is a solid coach, as we all know, and he's a defensive guy. We know that. And he's going to put a challenge together for us. So I'm excited. I'm comfortably
numb.
Comfortably yeah. Comfortably nervous or comfortably excited. I'm comfortable with where we are. I just want to see them play, and I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm sure different statement than everybody else that's listening, but that's my bottom line. That's all I got for now. So I'll just say, unless you got any questions for me on my way out.
Yeah, one more thing. What you're looking for from the next wave of practices, what you want to hear, what would give you confidence? What's the next thing you want to hear other than the quarterback thing? That's obvious. Anything else you want to hear a report on or get an update for that'd give you some confidence?
Yeah, still no injuries.
Yeah.
How did I hear that? That feeds my calmness, and that balances out my excitedness for, hey, let's just put them on the field and let's go. Let's see what we got.
Yeah.
See what we need to work on.
Yeah, man, this is going to be interesting. We still got some time. We're going to get some more information and see what's up at camp. Hey, thanks for the call and thanks for the street reports, man. Be careful out there.
Absolutely. It's killing me, man. I can't wait. But God bless you. God bless everybody listening, and go Irish.
Have a good one, man. Dude. It is just kind of funny. It's like, if that guy never calls again, we're going to have to go to the hood in Miami. It's like walking up to people at the 7-Eleven. What do you think of Notre Dame? I don't know. You better be careful out there in them streets. It was just the way he said it, because he didn't mean anything by it, but it was just like, hey, man, I'm in the hood interviewing people. You better be careful. Mark without glasses. This made me laugh a lot with the other caller, 714. First time caller, 0-time talker. Thanks for being a part of the show. Right when I said 714, first time caller, you're on. Hang up. Oh, that's funny. That's good to me. Sly Fox, when I see this, I don't know if you're doing it on purpose or not. When I see this, I think of Jim Carrey. What was it? In Living Color, when he was Fire Marshal Bill. Does anybody younger even know what that is? Am I just getting so old that I'm the only one that remembers Fire Marshal Bill? Let me show you something. He had the face and his teeth, and he was lighting everything on fire and blowing everything up as the fireman. Let me show you something. Oh, that skit was my favorite. Okay, people are remembering it. It is so, dude, Fire Marshal Bill. Come on. That show had so many, man. You had Fire Marshal Bill. Just those old days, those skits were hilarious, man. You had Fire Marshal Bill, Coach Hines, Mad TV. Coach Hines was a favorite of mine. What was that? The old lady, Lorraine, Homie the Clown. God, I'm getting old. I'm just getting so old, I think. So I don't know, Clayton, that's not that old. All of these were like 20 years before Clayton. That's for sure. Oh, God. The immaturity is killing me. I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh, God. All right, you guys. That's going to be it for the show. Let's just see what we're getting. It's Who did that? I want to know who's it. Show us your face. Oh my God. Oh, it's the face, man. It's just the face. Oh, the way he's looking. I didn't expect that. The problem now is, how am I supposed to The problem now is, how in the hell am I supposed to not lose it every time that person pops in here? Sir, my message is simple. Oh my God, that's funny. All right, I'm getting out of here. What a great way to end it. Oh my God. Oh, that's so funny. I'm sorry. I just lost it when I see this guy's face. I just can't help it. Oh, man, that's funny. God, I love this stupid ass show. Everybody be good. We'll talk to you. Oh, that's funny. Thanks for the calls. Thanks for the chats. Whoever that is, don't change it. Just leave it. Whoever changed their name, I don't know if that's a new person or somebody that's regular that changed a name. You got to leave it. You got to leave it. It's how much time you got, buddy? See ya.